We're riding down the boulevard. We're riding through the dark night. We're half a tank and empty heart, pretending we're in love, but it's never enough. Not as the silence fill the lonely air. Oh, how did we get here now, babe? We see a storm is closing in. Pretending we scared. Don't say a word while we dance with the devil. You brought a fire to a world so cold. We're out of time on a highway to never. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Don't say a word while we dance with the devil.
The highs were indeed high, but the lows were incredibly low. The spiritual journey I was on had me feeling lonely, somewhat depressed, and disconnected from others, especially men. I craved connection with men romantically, without guilt. I had needs that needed to be met. So I found myself lowering my standards just to be reminded not to do that again. It was late afternoon and I was scrolling on social media, laying on my bed in my silk robe, feeling major discomfort between my legs. I had not felt pain like that after hooking up with a guy before, and it wasn't even for the reason one would think. He was having, let's say, performance issues, stage fright perhaps, and I didn't hesitate to point it out. You have no clue what you're doing with a woman in bed, do you? After that remark, he took two of his massive fingers and jackhammered my insides with them. I keeled over and pushed him away from me, yelling at him to stop. From that moment on, I could not wait for this big, clueless idiot to leave my presence. He made an excuse that he had to wake up early for a meeting and it would be best for him to not stay the night. I agreed and laid in my bed for nearly 12 hours in pain, wishing I could go back in time and say no to meeting up. I knew him for nearly a year from social media, and we met just 6 months prior for the first time. And this time, I thought I had a decent read on him as a friend. It wasn't like he was just a random hookup. So how did I end up in this situation? Before my Reiki attunements and this spiritual awakening, I didn't quite understand the beauty and sanctity of sex. It was always slightly uncomfortable for me. I suppose I had associated sex with discomfort, that giving part of myself for someone else's pleasure was how it was supposed to be. It was like I had forgotten, because with my spiritual awakening, all of that went away. In my pain, I decided that a man would be privileged to know how I feel, and I was going to stand up for myself. In fact, I knew that at that point, I shouldn't even have to. Like I said, I was passing the time by scrolling on social media and replied to a story of a man named Shervin, an alchemist who I started following a couple of months prior. Normally, I wouldn't have cared to respond to a stranger's story, but I was feeling less than great and needed to get my mind off of my pain. He responded right away. "Tell me about you," he said. "I'm from Seattle. I'm a Taurus, Capricorn moon, Virgo rising, writing a book now about perceptions of love. I love to live life with as few schedules on the calendar as possible. Each day is new and exciting. Been single for a year now. 2019 has been a year of self-healing." He responded with, "I honor your truth embodiment. It's rare these days. How did you find me?" We messaged back and forth until he took our conversations higher, sharing his abundant wisdom. We flow. I have everything. Would share that in person. It really depends on how deep you want to go and how nurtured the container is. We would have to connect on a deep level. Alchemy can begin soft, then go full blast. Sounds so beautiful. I do it all, and it's the highest form of vibration I can offer. Heart is in full accordance to natural law. Thank you for sharing. My curiosity leads me into what my heart wants. I'm intrigued by you. He asked me to call him in 9 minutes, so I did. As soon as we started talking, my body heated up. I was expressive about how I felt about him right away. Shervin was a handsome Persian man with a tight beard, twinkling eyes, and perfectly white teeth. His athletic build, passion in his purpose, and serious presence gave me the sense of masculine security. Why don't we spend a couple of days together? Would you want to meet me in California? Yeah, I would. Let's do it. This felt so special. This had never happened before, yet it wasn't an unlikely scenario. I frequently found myself in unique, lovely, magical experiences, but this was something divine. He asked me to meet him in the Joshua Tree Health Food Store in the chocolate aisle. I wore my favorite floor-length Free People sundress for good luck. When our eyes locked, he reached his arms out for a hug. Upon embracing, my body heated up and sweat dripped down my arms and torso. Oh gosh, I'm sweating. I pulled back with embarrassment. Shervin held onto me tighter. You're so cute, he laughed. Then he winked and grabbed heart chocolates from the shelf. We're going to want some of these. They're my company's. You'll like them. I followed him to the Airbnb and we got comfortable right away. It was a small studio bungalow with just one bed and one bathroom. As the sun set, he lit candles, made us a salad, and poured us his favorite white wine. This man didn't know how to be anything but deep. Our conversations were led by his wisdom of universal keys, etymology, and alchemy. I took notice that when he wanted something, he would command it of me instead of ask. Hand me the wine. Sit down. Look at me. Tell me what you're thinking. With each command, I obeyed as my mind surrendered to his lead. We danced in the living room to his curated mood-setting music until I grew queasy and threw up in the bathroom for 30 minutes. I hadn't eaten all day, and I was under the assumption that he would feed me dinner. I think I'm just not doing well with wine and peppered arugula on an empty stomach. He responded with, when I do medicine retreats, it's best to keep the vessel light. Our intimate conversations turned to the topic of sex and sexual health. He was dismayed over how I practiced discernment, or lack of it, in his mind. He sounded sternly intentional, but also gentle with his words. When was the last time you were intimate with somebody? A week ago Monday, Angel. Your body is a temple. You must cherish yourself. Sex is an energetic contract that binds you to their karma and everyone else they slept with before you. My heart broke because I knew what that meant. My honesty was burning a bridge of any potential romance with this man. How could I have been so stupid? I wasn't going to argue with him and tell him the whole situation, how it wasn't really sex. I already blew it. I'm sure he would just say that my intention was bad enough. I tried swallowing my pride, but my attitude felt defensive, awkward, and aloof. But I couldn't understand living in a world of such judgment. As if reading my thoughts, he added, I hope you understand I am not here to judge you. I see your truth, and I'm also standing in mine. I nodded, but I had come so far. How am I not seen as worthy now? I pulled myself together and reminded myself that I'm here for a healing experience. I knew how blessed I was to be in this man's presence. I just wished that he felt the same about me. My thoughts would spiral, and then my energy would become awkward again. Shervin would remind me in the night, I hope I am displaying an accurate mirror of you. That bounced me back into my happy attitude. That's right, I told myself. I'm in control of my experience. That's better, he would confirm. Our energy picked up and we sat together in the shadows, our bodies bouncing to the music. I smiled at him and brought myself back into a blissful state of mind. It was easy to do that with him. The window was open and the starry night was calm. It felt like an appropriate time to bring in my angels. Yud, 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 tav, resh, yud. Right then, the wind blew strong through the window, blowing the curtains and flickering our candle's flame. Our jinxed expressions said it all. They're here, I smiled. The angels are here. He looked at me with pure love. No matter what, Angel, I will always have your back. I know that you have said this before. I smiled. The next night, we went on a hike through the park, where we shared medicine, watching the sunset on a boulder. Take this. He handed me a pill. This is medicine, created with full integrity and pure intention. It will show us what we both need tonight. I followed his lead. Then, a thought, as if haunting me from the dead, crept into my consciousness, saying, I am unworthy. I tried to hush it. I have no worries about that. I am love, I said to myself. I didn't have to do any convincing. I just needed to continue to feel the good vibes and smile. There's no issue here. This is a non-issue. I thought we went over this, I kept saying to myself. We were in his black Chevy Tahoe, just a few mile drive from the Airbnb, and I thought the medicine was beginning to kick in. He reached his hand for mine, and I held it, awkwardly. Instead of lacing my fingers into his, I held onto it as if I were shaking on a business deal. No warm fuzzies, no relaxation, just awkwardness. I remembered that all I needed to do is breathe. That nothing is real, it's only a lesson. I didn't actually feel anything different than the usual energetic sensitivity that I had every day. Then, anxiety set in. I felt this message inside me again saying, I'm unlovable. I felt my energy shift from neutral to pain, the pain of separation. I am love. I breathed and repeated, I am whole. I am divine. I am love. Over and over. There was no reason why this should ever pop up on my radar, especially now. Why is this coming up? I had learned by this point to ask questions as if it's an upset child begging for attention. Do I ignore it or do I validate it? I must validate it, I thought to myself. Okay, how does this serve us now? I talked to my subconscious like a kid in the back of the car who said that she had to go pee when she had many chances to go before we got on the road. I couldn't recall the last time I had to deal with an expression of this magnitude, and it was mine. My inner child was the loudest tantrum-throwing brat. How do I calm her down? When we returned to the house, we decided to relax and listen to music. He had the best playlist on repeat. It was a little eerie, but also blissful. I could feel the love in the tones vibrating in my body. It's like it was sending codes directly to me to heal. I set up my crystal angel grids and battery-operated tea lights. Off and on throughout the night, the alchemist and I didn't say a word to each other in what felt like forever. I was responding to the heavy energy with my own insecurity of trying to pull it together while letting go and allowing love to settle into the toxicity that was trying to erupt. I whispered to myself, Yud. I need my angels now. I couldn't do this alone any longer. He asked for us to sage the place, so I got up and blessed the cabin. Then I decided to give him his space and walked out. Immediately I got in my own head. Did the alchemist ask me to leave, or did I leave willingly? I'll never know. But the weather was perfect. I laid myself down on the hammock and looked at the stars until I saw him walking out barefoot. The moonlight bounced off his bare back as he walked outside past me and onto a garden trail on the property. I was no longer able to relax in the depth of the starry night as I grew intensely aware of the void of his presence and waited for his return. It wasn't long before he reappeared in my peripheral. He turned to the side, making eye contact with me before entering the bungalow again. I saw that as a welcome in. When I returned to the cabin, we embraced and took a deep breath together. How long did it feel like we were in there? I asked, implying the mental space we were both sharing. A lifetime. Yeah, I felt like we journeyed through over 20 years of a relationship, and I'm still here. We both looked at each other, clearly exhausted. I don't know if that's a good thing, he said as we both laughed from our bellies. Finally, we cleared the air. From there, it felt like the energy was much lighter and I welcomed the change. I knew there was no going back to that blissful, flirtatious energy we once had. That was old news and the pleasantries were behind us. Yet, the energy was still heavy and spinning. We were both still in it, like a riptide that wouldn't go away. We both intuitively climbed into bed together and cuddled. I was the big spoon. I'll call my angels to assist us. Yud, yud, yud. I prayed with faith that they would take this heaviness from us. Then all of a sudden I saw shapes and images light up on the wall. Or were they in my eyes? I couldn't tell. I called out his name slowly as if I had spotted the white rabbit. Shervine. I'm seeing these images and I don't know what they are. They're little dots like stars, but connected with lines. They're colorful, but I don't know what they mean. Oddly, his silence was a calming answer. I could see the expression on the side of his face that he was trying to figure it out with me as I rubbed his shoulders. They're codes. Okay, codes. I tried to understand what that meant. Like gene codes, he said, as if reading my mind. You may be unlocking gene codes within you. This place is a vortex. You probably downloaded a lot here tonight. After what felt like an eternity, I fell asleep with gratitude over the thought of the ending of my book being revealed to me, which was inspired by this experience. I get it now, I thought. There aren't only 4 doors of perception, there are 5. And the 5th is the medicine. This is the initiation of a healer. I am the medicine with Mother Earth. The next day was the end of our journey, and he was in a pleasant, more relaxed mood. He showed me his first liposomal supplement that he was launching for his company. It was called the Omega, and the Omega just happened to be the name of the 3rd phase in my book. The perception of the Omega is, I am love. It was uncanny how we seemed to be a silent echo of each other. Although it was clear to me, I wondered if he saw it too, in his own way. I made us breakfast, and we cleansed our palates with his own chocolate in the shape of a heart. He broke off a piece and handed it to me across the table. Half of my heart to you, he smiled. I blushed, but I thought he was just being nice for how weird it was the last couple of days. If the walk of shame had energy, this was it. And of course, as if he read my thoughts, he said, "This isn't goodbye, Angel. This is just the beginning." I returned home with my emotional tail between my emotional legs. I felt like I needed to take a deeper look at how I associated myself with intimacy. I knew it on a conscious level and felt it on a really embarrassing level too. I started to get lost on my own thoughts again. Over the next couple of days, I got my IUD out. I felt good about myself for being intuitively prompt, but of course I was harsh on myself for not doing it sooner. Divine timing is always on my side, right? I began to doubt. This all just seemed like a harsh hologram. Maybe my future self was just trying to show me what I could have had if I would have just been a little more put together, a little more faithful. Maybe I failed the test of being worthy of a true divine counterpart. I felt as if I had the gift that I was asking for so long, and it was delivered to me without knowing, and I cheated on it before realizing it was too late. Is that how the universe works? Is that the lesson I needed to feel? A quote came to mind by Goethe. Nature understands no jesting. She is always true, always serious, always severe. She is always right, and the errors and faults are always those of man. The man incapable of appreciating her, she despises, and only to the apt, the pure, and the true does she resign herself and reveal her secrets. I met with Scott for some wisdom. Scott, I feel like it was the right thing to meet up with that man in Joshua Tree, but it didn't go the way I thought it would. Tell me what happened. Well, he said that you get intertwined with other people's karma when you sleep with someone. He said he's only slept with like 4 people, and I've been with more than that, but it made me feel like I wasn't worthy to be with him. But I know that can't be right. What do you feel? I feel like I'm sovereign. I feel like I'm free. I feel like I'm the healer. And whatever comes in contact with me is healed. And whatever negativity comes in contact with me is transmuted. I don't subscribe to his way of thinking when it comes to sex. It's as intimate as gazing in someone's eyes, shaking one's hand, and trusting another. Not that I would be sexually intimate with everyone that I would do that with, but you know what I mean, don't you? Angel, you are also a teacher. You had an opportunity to teach him this truth. Know that you don't ever have to accept someone else's teachings that minimize who you are. It was September 2019, and I was starting to stress out about finances. The club was slow, and so was gambling, and I knew I had a check to look forward to for my car accident settlement. But after medical bills and lawyer fees, there was absolutely no promise of receiving anything worth holding my breath for. I needed money, and I knew that that was a dangerous place to be. I knew that energetically needing something was keeping me perpetually away from the thing I wanted. But I daydreamed and reminisced of the days where I had that guaranteed paycheck, stability. That's what I wanted. I recalled a conversation that I had with Maggie back in July about the telecom job that I loved in Utah from years prior. I remember back when you loved that job, she said to me. Why wouldn't you do something like that again? Because I am done living on someone else's schedule. I love doing what I do now. I'm free. It's risky, of course, but I get to be creative, have fun. I don't have an alarm clock. I'm healthy and happy. I will never work on a weekend and promote someone else again. Okay, noted, she smiled. Right on cue, my daydreaming was interrupted by a call from my former telecom associates. It was so great hearing from them because I felt like we were genuinely friends who laughed and cared about each other beyond work. It had been 3 years since I spoke to them last. Bree, we are thrilled about where our company is headed right now. We're projected to make more money than we know what to do with, and we're finally in a position where we would love to hire someone like you on with our company. We're selling these 5G wireless switches where we turn everything that's Bluetooth or a wireless comm to 5G. That's the future now, and we own the market. We can fly you all over the country like you did back in the day. The pay is $80,000 a year, plus commission, car, and travel. Is this something you're interested in? That sounds amazing. Could you give me a day or two to think about it and give me a call back? Sure, you want us to call you back in 2 days? Yes. I just have one last question though. Do you have any dealers that take initiative for healing the planet? I'm kind of concerned about that now, and if you have any type of leads for me, that would be great. I didn't get a call back. Perhaps that was another sneaky little test from the universe that I failed. I should have just said no. I knew better. I fought the urge to send them an email that said, well, you know what? I didn't want to work for you anyway, for I would be selling my integrity. A few days later, I had an eviction notice on my door. I started having doubts about my divinity because I couldn't master making a consistent flow of money. I didn't feel up to working in the club, so I returned to the casinos. A man from the club named Doug texted me while I was at the Cosmopolitan playing craps. He just happened to be at the bar by the Chelsea Towers. It had been a year since I last saw him, and he was so sweet and kind. When I met him for the first time, I was in his booth for maybe 5 minutes before I was called to go on stage. And he said to me, "Here, don't leave empty-handed. Take my number, so maybe we can go shopping sometime. I promise I'm a good guy and not here for anything but friendship." And I believed him because he handed me $500. We exchanged numbers, and I sent him a picture of myself and both my names so that he could remember me. I loved meeting men like him who truly just wanted friendship. So when he texted me a year later in the Cosmo, it was all divine timing. I met him at the bar, and we gave each other a kiss on the cheek and a hug. It felt like seeing a friend after a long time apart. He didn't drink alcohol, and neither did I, so we sipped on soda water and lime, a little trick I did in the club to make it look like a vodka soda. We caught up, and he told me how he's doing, and he's only in town for a few nights. Then I didn't expect what came next. He made me an offer. "Would you like to go up to my room? We can talk. It's more comfortable there than here. What do you think about that?" Oh, Doug, you're so sweet. I don't do that, you know? There's nothing wrong with what you want. I put both of my hands on his thighs and looked him in his eyes. Honestly, I just don't do that. And in my mind, the eviction notice on my apartment door appeared. I was already 3 days late on rent, and the club was dead, so I was gambling to make my luck, even though I had gotten a bit rusty. I see. I understand. Well, I would really take care of you, though. If $5,000 works for you, I promise I would treat you right and take care of you. He was adorably awkward. I knew that he was good for the money, too. You're so sweet. Thank you. But no, I don't do that. But I have friends who do, if you want me to connect you with them. No, it's okay. I have some options, but I thought I would ask you first. Here. He pulled out a casino chip from his pocket. Here's $500. You're such an angel, and I'm sorry for asking. Go play with this and make some big money tonight. If you lose, just come back for more. He gave me a kiss on the cheek, and I hugged him. Thank you, Doug. Hopefully I don't have to come back, I yelled over my shoulder. I hope you win $1 million, he shouted. His cheeks lifted his glasses when he smiled. I didn't bother trying to explain to him that I couldn't win without him being there with me. I played anyway, lost and won. After 2 hours of playing craps, I walked away with $500. That was what the Mormons call a tender mercy, which translates to being given a heavenly gift in the midst of a trial and tribulations, even when we don't deserve it. The $500 made up for what I needed to pay my rent in full. A week later, I visited Scott to feel some purity in my life again. I was feeling too tense lately. Let's do an aura photo, shall we? It's time for you to see what I see. It appeared that I had a white aura. I did some research on what that meant, and I told myself to not get caught up in identifying with it, even though I was pretty thrilled and validated to see how rare my aura was. A white aura indicates purity, integrity, and a high level of spirituality. It is considered the rarest aura color and is said to signify a highly evolved spiritual state. They're also said to be well aligned in body, mind, and spirit. Keen.com says, quote, since the crown chakra is located at the top of the head or slightly above the head, someone with a white aura feels drawn to the higher spiritual world. They feel drawn to consciousness, connection to a higher power, wisdom, self-realization, presence, and self-awareness. The white aura is more distinctly associated with the healing arts than any other aura, though not in the conventional sense. As a reflective aura, white often wards off bad energy and negative auras by presence alone. Individuals with a white aura are protective by nature, defending the weak or vulnerable from enemies real or imagined. An aura with a solid white color appears bright and glowing, which is associated with innocence, generosity, wisdom, and resistance to corruption. It also represents healing capabilities, divine connection, and higher consciousness. But if the white appears dark or murky, this could indicate naivete and self-sacrifice. That's why it's important to engage in spiritual practices that get your emotional state in a better place at the start of each day. End quote. In October, my feelings grew stronger that I was on the verge of a breakthrough. I was connecting with people on social media who validated me and saw my purpose. I had been following a star seed astrologist, and we became friends. I was curious about her work and ordered a star seed report from her, which reads, quote, Bree, thank you so much for your order. Attached you will find your starseed lineage documents. I hope this information helps you to better understand yourself, the starseed experience, and your greater galactic connections, helping you to channel the cosmic energy available. Note, while this report is designed to locate your markers and not to go in depth into each system's energy, here is a little insight into your connections. You have a lot of markings. Your strongest cosmic connections are Andromeda, the Pleiades, Orion, Ophiuchus, Sirius, Lyra, and the galactic center, the black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy. You are a multidimensional being with connections to higher dimensions and realms our mind cannot fathom. Through these powerful open portals of communication, particularly through your Venus alignment with the Galactic Center, this point holds powerful activation codes for your personal and planetary ascension. Your mission here is to channel and transmit higher levels of love, unity, through Andromeda, Sirius, Pleiades, Galactic Center, and knowledge, wisdom, ascension codes through Ophiuchus, and our second most powerful cosmic portal, the Galactic Center, while transmuting karma, particularly ancestral, generational karma, through the lens of Andromeda, a very powerful twin flame activation point, as well as past life karmic ties to Orion, the gate of man, as well as Vega Lyra, ground zero for the galactic wars. Ophiuchus, the serpent holder, the lost or rather hidden 13th sign of the zodiac, is aligned with our galactic center, the center of the Milky Way galaxy. It is considered the gate of the gods, helping us awaken to our true nature, while Orion symbolizes the gate of man. This cosmic point symbolizes tamed serpent energy, the Kundalini awakening, and the ascension process here on Earth. You have an open line of communication with both ends of this journey, man and God, Orion and Ophiuchus. Your mission is to help guide others down this road through the cosmic gate of ascension. You also hold extremely strong past life connections to the Sirius and the Vega Lyra system access. Vega was ground zero for the galactic wars, meaning part of your earthly mission is to purge this past life karma, releasing both yourself and humanity from its grasp and helping history to not repeat. You have experienced great cataclysm in the past and are here to help make sure this does not happen again. Your entire life has been training for this moment. I'm sure it wasn't always easy, having to overcome darkness and find the light. Your focus now is both love and knowledge. Andromeda helps you break generational curses and activate higher love, a powerful twin flame activation point. You are meant to grow and expand through a profound learning relationship. These are not easy, but transform your reality and help you and the planet ascend through the transmutation and integration of your collective shadow together. And Ophiuchus and the Galactic Center activate your dormant DNA and awaken within you powerful ascension codes, helping propel both you and humanity forward. Find time to tune into these active systems and watch your life evolve beyond your wildest dreams. Special note, next month on November 19th, Jupiter, the planet of growth and expansion, will finally come into a perfect alignment with the Galactic Center, activating this powerful cosmic point and your natal Venus. This will be a profound time for you and your evolution. Take note and pay attention to everything. Your greater cosmic family will be communicating strongly with you, guiding you in the direction of the life-changing soul relationship that's already been written in the stars. I purchased my tickets for the Joshua Tree Music Festival. This time, I was feeling stronger, more prepared, and intentional for what I wanted with the magic of Joshua Tree. Joshua Tree, California. That was my beacon, my lighthouse, and vortex to get lost in a deep dive into my soul. I had just purchased a new car, a Mazda CX-5, and a tent that wrapped onto the open hatch like a car diaper. I rolled in around late afternoon and every spot was taken. I didn't want to squeeze into a space with a bunch of loud neighbors, so I followed someone else's lead and parked along the edge of a fence. I faced east so that I could watch the sunrise from the comfort of my memory foam car bed, looking out the open hatch. After I settled in and admired the sun's farewell painted on the sky, The stars appeared with the moon. The chilly air swiftly replaced the day's comfort, so I got out my long, fuzzy white coat with my mohawk hood, sequined beak bird mask, and vintage brown leather cowgirl boots. I knew where I was going without having a plan. I just followed the music, strolling the dirt path. As I entered the park, the first piece of art on display was 6 doors, all painted in their own unique way. I took out my phone and took a picture. The next day, I walked by it again and read the description of the art for the first time. Oh my gosh, what is this? I thought to myself. Journeying and writing my book, there were so many synchronicities. How was this book displayed as art while my intention was to find the ending of my book? 6 doors? There are 6? To me, the doors represented a passage into a new phase to perceive through a new lens. A 6th door would mean that there's a 7th phase. Coming to Joshua Tree, I did not expect to see that I did not have all the answers. The ending of my book just seemed that much further away. I took a deep breath and told myself I would not leave without the answer. I had faith that Joshua Tree would provide, so it was my job to go with the flow. I committed to surrendering. The final evening was October 13th, 2019. I bought a journal and captured my thoughts. It's pretty divine that I started this journal on the blood full moon, and today I started my period. First true cycle since the IUD came out. I'm intentionally integrating my shadows: fear, confusion, anger, and separation. Yesterday, my healing breathwork journey brought forth an opportunity to see the fear in my lips and hands. My hands were completely clenched and turned inward. They were so tight that it hurt. I shook, shivered, and screamed and roared. The healers both assisted me with processing. They said that I was holding on to fear. What am I holding on to? Am I being shown that Kevin threw me out of the house because I felt insecure in my own body? Jen, a healer, pointed out that I didn't believe when I repeated her affirmation, "I feel safe to be in my body." I resisted. House equals heart. What am I holding on to? This full moon with Mercury retrograde is going to show me I can focus on the work I'm supposed to be doing because the reward is rich. The full moons at Joshua Tree Music Festival invites the wildness within you to break free, shake up the status quo, make friends with neighbors, and accept all oddities as art. At this event, it didn't seem as if people were on display or trying to be different. They were all feeding off of each other's creativity and collectively accepting each other. Everyone howls like wolves, and we party like it's New Year's Eve. After observing the moon shining in all its glory as it rose above the mountains with the help of everyone on the dance floor howling, I decided it was time to walk back to my car tent to freshen up. "What is the final perception, Moon? What am I missing?" I said aloud as I dropped off my journal in my car and headed back to the festival with optimism. The magic I experienced lately was that every time I asked a question, the answer would come almost immediately. "Truth," said the moon. I stopped in my tracks. Walking solo in the desert under the moon and her stars, I couldn't believe it. It was so obvious. "Of course, thank you." I burst out in laughter and continued to chuckle to myself. But wait, now, how do we see the truth? "Death," the moon said. "Oh, I get it. Like an ego death," I said, as if I knew. I didn't know, and I feared to be wrong. However, if I'm right. Then this means I have not surrendered to an ego death, I thought to myself. I thought that awakening, meditation, and humility meant ego death. I was confused all over again. Well, hello. An older, white-haired man approached me at the bar. Not my usual clientele. I like the sexy young money in suits, but that day I wasn't being too picky. Hi, I smiled back. Give less, and if he makes a move, I'll go with it, but give minimally, I thought to myself. Tell me about you. How long have you been working here? Ew, I hated that question. I've learned to just say, since 10, and let them get the picture. It's the most wretched opener. It's not even sexy. Do I look like a robot, a piece of meat? I'm sure I do. Talk to me like I'm a human, and I won't talk to you like you're just a wallet, was my motto. You're smart. I like it. Where are you from? Are you a local or do you fly in from out of town? I hated that question also. I'm from Seattle, but I live here. I believed this was why strippers lie, to keep things interesting so that we don't have to tell the same story 100 times a night. Oh, a Seattle girl. I like Seattle. Well, let me buy you a drink. What are you drinking? Water, please. Thank you. Water? Really? He seemed bothered. Not my problem. If I'm out of my wits, would you feel better about yourself? Look at my body. What makes you think I would consider putting poison in a body like this? I twirled for him. Smart and sexy. I like you. He leaned in closer and ordered me a water with the bartender. You seem too good for this place. What's next for you? Where are you going after this? I was sure that he was expecting me to tell him about a new business idea or something cliche. I'm ready to die. You're what? I'm ready to die. I repeated calmly with a smile. The look on his face was like he saw a ghost. Here's your water, sir. The bartender chimed in. Hey, Mike. A bigger guy, slightly younger, walked up to us. Oh, she's hot. Good job, man. Get it. He looked Italian, and his larger-than-life personality immediately lifted the mood. Mike, are you going to take her to the back, or am I? Again, I knew I was a piece of meat to these fools, but that night I was okay with it, because I was on a different plane of existence. Mike wasn't my type, but I would dance for him. Just a dance. I decided to play along to keep the mood light, so I jumped on the friend's lap who blurted, I like you, you're fun. I could tell that Mike was second-guessing his choice about me, but the pressure from his buddy brought him closer, even with his hesitation. Yeah, I guess I'll take her, he said playfully. All right, go, before I do. Bye, sweetie. The friend helped me off his lap and waved goodbye. Off we went to the half-hour room. I got paid $200 up front, and we walked into the back. In my mind, I already knew he was going to be disappointed. I could just feel it. He sat down, and I did my sultry wave with my hips back and forth. I took my bra off and turned my back to him with my hands on his knees so that I was slightly hovering over his lap, shaking my booty in a slow circular motion. Mike put his hands on my hips and pulled me into his crotch. I lost balance for a moment and pulled away. Nothing grinds my gears more at a club than a man directing where my body should go. I stood up and danced further away and turned to face him. Don't pull me into you or I'll pull away, I said playfully. Men in these clubs are like children, especially when they are drinking. If we're going to correct them, we have to use our sweet, angelic baby voices. So basically, I can't touch you then, he scowled. Is that what I said? I asked, teasing with my distance while dancing. Basically, the old baby responded. All right, then if forcing me closer to you is touching, then you're right. I danced without sitting on his lap, and he didn't last another song before he stood up and walked out. That was record timing. The car accident injury settlement was done. I had $38,000 in my pocket. So I decided to get myself a riding coach, the one I originally hired when I was with Kevin. Vicky's rate increased to $16,000, and she required half of it up front, so I paid her. I met with my new coach and told her the news I retrieved about the end of my story. So I went to Joshua Tree and I got the answer I was looking for, the ending of my book. I saw this art display the moment I got there, and you're not going to believe it. It was a display of 6 doors of perception. There are 6. So that means there's a 7th phase, and I figured out what it is. What is it? The 7th phase is death, of course. Ego death, we blurted out loud in unison. I really feel like I need to experience this, Vicky. I've got a few reasons. I feel like I'm in a space where I know all the answers, and I feel like I already know everything there is to know about this book. And I also realize that I'm actually afraid of death. I keep telling myself that I'm not, but I know I am. These are just clues that there has to be more. I know there is, and I need to figure this out. We agreed to meet the next day and get into a meditative space and game plan for me to experience a medicine-induced ego death with a 3-letter dissolvable square that starts with an L and ends with a D. I have these documentaries and websites that I want us to go over, she said. This is basically supposed to mimic what your brain experiences when you die. Some people really freak out, and it's going to be a really good idea to be as prepared as possible. We spent several hours studying websites and watching videos about people's experiences with this medicine. I think I'm mentally ready to do this tomorrow, I told Vicky. That evening, I showered and got ready for bed. As I toweled off, I looked in the mirror and it dawned on me. Death, I whispered. Death? I felt a rush of divine knowing flood all over my body. I felt the truth. This is my own death. If I testify, I'm going to die, I said out loud. I felt the confirmation tingle up my legs once more. It dawned on me that I must truly accept my own death one way or another, because the one truth about life is we all die. I stood in front of the mirror, naked, holding my towel like a child holding her blankie to her chest. This was the second time I experienced acceptance of death. The difference this time was I wasn't involved in a dangerous car accident. I was accepting the knowing of my fate. I heard the gunshot again. I couldn't help but question the narrative to it, wondering who would be behind the gun pulling the trigger.
Take me home, just like water floating away. Can't tell if I will disintegrate. All I need is to rest my head. Each day weighs heavy. Can't get out of bed, but I need to feel safe to in a world where I feel complete, like